Welcome back to our daily Bible study. I am Matthew Gage, pastor at Faith Baptist Church. We'll be in Genesis chapter number 42 today, Genesis chapter number 42. And we'll begin a series of chapters here that will go through to, I would say first chapter 45. So we've got about 4 chapters here that are going to deal with Joseph and his interaction with his family as they come down to buy food from Egypt. And this is a long series of events that takes place. In fact, honestly, the book of Genesis really flies by so many of these events, and there is so much detail given into these interactions. It really is amazing. When you think about some other places, we don't know near as much, but really the narrative spends a lot of time dealing with this. So it's always kind of curious to me, the reason I'm not sure I completely understand all the reasons. Also, another thing I'll point out before we get into this is Joseph and the way he treats his brothers. It's not just an instant happy family reunion. He's going to mess with his brothers some. And why is that? And I'll be honest, that's another one of those questions I'm not sure I have a great grasp on. I think ultimately God is working through Joseph to teach his brothers a lesson and to drive home the depth of their sin and what they did to Joseph. And you kind of see a development with them. They're kind of sorry. They're kind of afraid of what they did, but are they really repenting of it? Not really. And so it's all going to come in and play. All this is going on in the background when you think about what's happening here. You got to think that Joseph, who's now the number 2 man in Egypt, one of the most powerful people in the world, he's the one everybody's coming to buying food. And here come his brothers, those scoundrels that sold him into slavery. And how's he going to treat them? And that's like I said, that's the theme of these chapters. Is he going to be kind? Is he going to be mean? And he just really kind of messes with them. Yeah, I mean, he probably could have had them just slaughtered. He didn't do that. But God working through all of this is going to get to the point here in a few chapters where he's going to be able to bring the children of Israel down into Egypt. And that's just part of God's plan and purpose. So anyway, we're going to get there. It's going to take us a few times to get through there. We're going to be in chapter number 42 today, and we'll have probably at least 3 more, I guess, looking at this, just looking ahead, dealing with this. So Genesis chapter number 42, we'll begin verse number 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do you look one upon another? So why are we standing around? We don't know what to do. We're confused. We know what the answer is. Egypt has food. They're not that far away from Egypt. They've seen people coming through, traders and things. And so they hear these reports and rumors. And so what are we doing? Let's go down to Egypt. Verse 2. And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy corn in Egypt. Now, I'll remind you again, the word corn there, that's not literal like we think of in America, yellow kernels on a cob. This is just talking about grain. They're going down to buy wheat, barley, just cereal grains, basically. Verse 4. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. So when Jacob sends out his boys to go down there, he sends, he's got 12. He only knows he has 11 because he thinks Joseph is dead. But he holds back his baby boy, if you will, Benjamin, also, full-blood brother to Joseph, of that, the beloved marriage to Rachel. So, so he holds him back, basically saying, I've already lost my one son, my favored son, And I can't bear the thought of losing everyone, especially little Benjamin here, so he holds him back. Verse 5. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land. Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food. Verse 8, And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. So Joseph has the advantage on them. They have assumed that Joseph died. He sold into slavery. He must be dead by now. He's long gone. So it never enters their mind that this ruler in Egypt is their brother. So, well, does he look like him? Well, he was 13 years or so. He was 17 years old, it looks like, when he was sold a slave. He was about 30 when he was elevated to that prime minister rank, or whatever it was, there in Egypt. And that's 7 years, at least 7 years removed there. So he's up late 30s, pushing 40 at this point. So a lot of water under the bridge. And also, he's dressed like an Egyptian. He's talking in Egyptian. And by that time, I'm sure, he doesn't really have much of an accent. He's speaking it like a local. So there's no reason at all for his brothers to even think that could possibly be their brother. Verse 9. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. Remember those dreams where, they were bowing down, and the stars and things were bowing down to Joseph, showing that he would have the upper hand. I think he now is saying, oh, well, God brought me here. This is what's happening. Look, they're bowing down to me. Or God's fulfilled those dreams. We'll see. The dream came, verse 9, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. So this is where he starts messing with them. He knows who they are, so he accuses them. You're spies. You're just coming to see how weak we are so you can invade. Verse 10, They said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. Why is he doing this act? I think right here, especially, he's trying to pry information from them. He's trying to scare them into spilling the beans. He's trying to get information, what's going on with his family. Because he can count, he's looking, he knows each one of these men, and he also knows who's missing. He knows Benjamin's not there, and he also knows his dad's not there. So he knows that there's something going on, and I wonder if maybe he's thinking, well, did they kill Benjamin too? What's going on? He wants information. Verse 13, And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan, and behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. So, hey, there's 12 of us. You see the 10 of us here. One's back home with dad, and the other one, he's dead. He's gone. Verse 14, And Joseph said to them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Why should I believe you? You're making this up. You're spies. Verse 15, Hereby ye shall be proved, by the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you. Or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. What brother hasn't wanted to lock their brothers up in prison? And Joseph actually got to do that. As a little brother, that must have been some kind of feeling of accomplishment there. I don't want to read too much playfulness into this, but these are brothers and they're humans. So, but basically saying, look, I don't believe you unless you can produce this 11th brother. I'm not going to believe you. So he locks them up. Verse 18, And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do and live, for I fear God. Right there should have been a clue. He's saying, I fear the same God you did. I respect your God. Verse 19, If ye be true men, let one of your household, I keep reading wrong. Let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses, but bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. So he says, okay, I told you I'd let one person go back and leave the rest of you in prison. Got to thinking about it. Listen, I fear your God, so I'll keep one of you back as a prisoner. You'll be collateral for everybody else, and they can go, and when they come back, I expect to see little brother with them. Verse 21. And they said one to another, we are verily guilty concerning our brother. Who is that? That brother? They're talking about Joseph. Now they're saying, oh my goodness, we're paying for what happened to Joseph here. It says, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. So I think they're saying, he was in that pit. He was begging us, oh, please don't kill me. Please don't sell me as a slave. We didn't listen, and now we're paying for it. Verse 22. And Reuben answered them, saying, spake I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And Reuben can step up and say, look, I told you guys not to mess with him. I told you guys, I tried. His blood's on your hands. I'm innocent in this. I tried to talk y'all out of this. Verse 23. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. So in this whole deal, even though Joseph knows their language, it's his heart language, what he grew up speaking, he can understand every word they say. He's stepping back and he's relaying, he's speaking Egyptian to an interpreter who's then interpreting to the brothers. The brothers respond to the interpreter who translates to Joseph. So Joseph's hearing every word, even though they're not officially telling him any of this, he's hearing their conversation. So he's finding out all this stuff. Maybe he thought Reuben was the ringleader all along. Now he's hearing that, oh, well, Reuben actually tried to save me. He hears, the anguish that they're in. Verse 24. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again and communed with them, and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. So when he's overcome hearing this, I think finally hearing some of the story of what really happened, and hearing even the hearts of his brothers, he weeps, and then comes back and says, okay, Simeon, you're staying with me. The rest of you can go. Verse 25. He's not done messing with them yet. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed thence. Verse 27, as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the end, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? So Joseph sends them back, says, okay, we'll take your money, we'll give you grain, keeping your brother Simeon here, expect to see little brother Benjamin whenever you come back. But as they go, before he goes, he tells the servants, they take the money that they give and put it into the mouth of the sack, right on top of the grain. Put their money, tie up the sack. So now as they travel, they've gone some ways, and as they go to feed one of the animals, they open up the sack. There's their little bag of money. And I'll point out again, that's not money or coins like we'd think of. It's pieces of silver and gold and things like that, but not exactly coins and cash like we would think of today. But as they see that, and they think, oh no, what's God doing? And now, not only does he think we're spies, now he's going to think we're thieves and we stole our money back. So I bet they're looking over their shoulder the rest of the way home, looking for a cloud of dust and saying, oh my goodness, where's the camels? Where's the posse coming after us? Verse 29. And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. Verse 33. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. So they just report back, tell them exactly what happened. We went down there, man. That guy who's the master down there, the prime minister guy, the guy in charge of everything. Boy, he was rough with us, didn't believe us, called us spies, kept Simeon, and said next time we had better bring the other little brother because he didn't believe us. He thinks we're spies. So just lay it all out before Jacob, and then continue on, verse 35. And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks, and behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. So as now they open up that one of the guys found his money in the sack. Now they find out all their money. So not only did they come back with grain, they came back with all the money that they thought they had paid the Egyptians. So now they're even more afraid. And of course, they're also thinking that, boy, if this famine goes on, we're going to have to go back down there for food, or we're going to starve to death. So you can imagine the position that they're in. Verse 36. And Jacob their father said to them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. So poor Jacob just saying, I've already lost Joseph. He's gone. Now I don't have Simeon. And now you're wanting to take Benjamin away. What am I supposed to do? And looking at this, at the evidence before them, they probably think, well, if we show back up in Egypt, we're going to be arrested. We're going to be killed. Verse number 37. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. Reuben steps up. Reuben, he's a rascal, but he has some moments here. He steps up, and here's one of those cases. I think he really does step up. I mean, he's the oldest, and he say, look, if I don't bring them back, you can, in retribution, kill my sons. That's how much care I'm going to take over Benjamin. Nothing is going to happen to him. But verse 38, Jacob speaks here. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which ye go, then shall you bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. So he says, no, I will not let Benjamin go to Egypt. If I let Benjamin go, something happened to him, it'd be the final straw. I'd just die of a broken heart right there. So that's where we close chapter number 42. Just to recap a little bit, Joseph is in power in Egypt. They have all the food with the famine. The 10 sons of Jacob, excluding, of course, Joseph, who they think is dead, and Benjamin, who is at home with Jacob. The 10 sons come down to buy food. Joseph recognizes them. Joseph messes with them quite a bit here, sends them away, but keeps Simeon back as a captive, claims that they're spies, and says, next time you better bring this younger brother. I think you're lying about him. Not only that, puts their money back into their sacks, returns, so they come back with all the money and all their grain, and they return back, tell the story, and then here we have Jacob saying, "There's no way I'm letting Benjamin go down to Egypt," and that's where we close things out, and we'll pick up in chapter number 43 next time with the famine continuing, and once again they're going to need food, and the drama continues. So anyway, there we go, chapter number 42. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been a help and a blessing to you.